Good morning, everybody. It's Sandra here at the greenhouse, and today I'm going to talk to you about how you can grow your own microgreens and sprouts. Hey there, it's a beautiful Friday morning in the greenhouse. The sun is shining. We're so excited just for the spring season. It's so great to see things coming to life. We've been growing and planting things here for months now. And so it's great to see things starting to just, thrive as the temperatures warm up and the sun gets shining a little brighter. So anyways, this morning, like I said in my intro, I'm going to talk to you about growing your own microgreens and sprouts. This is something that's new for us to have available to our customers. We did a series, a workshop of, gosh, I want to say might be 2 years ago because last year with COVID, everything was a complete write-off. But we did a workshop a couple years ago with Leanne from the Lake Hound or Completely Rooted. She does a lot of vegan and whole food cooking. And she did a workshop for us on how to grow sprouts. And at that time, she had sprouters she brought with us. They're awesome. You can still get those from her. But we have decided that we're going to carry a line of seeds called West Coast Seeds. They are a family-owned company from British Columbia. They've been in business since the 80s. And they, as well as carrying vegetable seeds, which we have as well, they have a line of microgreens and sprouts. Now, this was really exciting to me because I had a sprouter, but I had nowhere to buy sprout seeds that was at least locally. You can always get them online, of course, like anything, but there was nowhere that I knew of locally to buy them. So it's something now that we carry here at the greenhouse. Sprouting is something that I've done quite a bit of over the time. Mostly mung beans and chickpeas is what I have sprouted myself in the past, but this last week I've started sprouting wheatgrass, which is very different from mung beans. It's a sweeter taste. I find that the seeds themselves to be really quite sweet. I've had somebody equate it to, clover when you're a kid and you pick the clover and you suck on the flowers and they taste really sweet. Kind of that sort of flavor, a real nice, natural, sweet flavor. Anyways, I brought my sprouts. I've been sprouting this week. I can't remember, 2 or 3 days ago, I put these in a jar and got them growing. So I'm going to kind of explain that process to you, but I brought them along. And as well, I've got my microgreens growing. These are peas. These are pea microgreens. I ate them. Some of them are short here at the front because I ate them yesterday on my salad. They were very delicious. But yeah, it's a really fun way to grow some of your own food, especially if you've got little kids. It's a really quick turnaround time. So these I planted last week. I don't know, probably they're 10 days, 12 days old, but you can see I got quite a bit of exciting growth there if you got little kids without a lot of patience or fully grown children without a lot of patience. That's me. It's a good way to grow some food quickly. And same thing, these sprouts, I only put these in the jar. I'm going to change the angle here so you can see. Hold on one second. Technology is fantastic, but it's a little bit, I think I'm going to go to this one. There. There we are. Okay, so these are my sprouts, and you can see them growing in the jar. So it's a mason jar with a screen. So we sell just the screen if you have your own mason jar. We also sell the set. So if you need to have the whole collection, you can do that. And this is what they're like. They look kind of alien. I don't know how else to describe that. But you just take that and you can put it as a garnish on things, or you just eat them. They're really, really good. Really tasty. Like I said, the seeds themselves are really quite sweet. And you eat the whole thing, seed and all. Because it's been soaked, it's quite soft. It's maybe a little chewy, but not bad at all. Certainly not crunchy like what you would think of a seed being. So I'm just going to switch you back here. Hold on one second. There we go. Okay, so those are my sprouts. Microgreens, like I said, I cut some yesterday to have them on my salad. And again, I'm going to actually switch my angle again. Sorry about that. So if you look here, these ones have been cut. Now, I did try to leave the first leaves on the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, I think you can. So those have some first leaves there because I think if I leave the first leaves, I'll get a little bit of regrowth. Not a ton, I'm going to be honest with you. I've tried to get them to regrow. You get a bit, but it's not as beautiful or as pretty, and there's not as much volume the second time around. It's kind of like a one and done thing. Now, that being said, this package of microgreen seeds, I'm holding it upside down because I ripped it open at the bottom. I don't even know if I used 1/8 of it, to be really candid with you, and I planted this whole tray. Now, again, you can plant it quite fuller than that if you want to. You don't have to, but you can. But this package of seed is going to last me, I would say I'll probably get 8 or 10 trays like that out of it. So I'm actually going to plant it up for you and show you, but they're just like little seeds, no big deal. One thing that I found that's kind of cool with the microgreens is you can grow them in anything. We've got little trays here for sale if you want to buy our trays. That's totally cool. We're waiting for the domes to come in. So like everything this year, shipping is a bit of a nightmare. So a lot of our stuff that we've ordered for spring is back ordered. We've got a great selection of stuff, but some of those key things that we're really waiting for, the little like peat pots and the covers for the growing trays and that sort of thing. Some of that stuff it's taking forever to come. So we apologize for that, but you could just grow them in a regular tray, or you can do it like I did and save your spinach box and an egg carton. So this was actually a flat egg carton that I cut apart, but you could also use a 1.5 egg carton, fits in there really good. It actually covers the whole bottom. So the reason I use this, for one, is because I had it laying around, and for two, it's a great way to make a little greenhouse, because as soon as I plant that up and close the lid, it gets all condensated in there and helps them to germinate a lot quicker. The other thing I like about it, and this is kind of key for microgreens, is you don't hardly need any soil at all. So I'm just gonna, this is a bit of tricky because I might actually rip this apart. It'll still snap back together, so bear with me 1 second. Oh, I don't want to rip my bucket. I'll just tuck it in that way. So I'm gonna put the soil right into the tray here like that. And then when I planted mine, so you all know what an egg carton looks like. When I planted mine, all I did is I put about 4 seeds and I tried to space them out in each little egg compartment. Okay, the great thing about that is it keeps, well, everything is like the egg carton is going to break down, so you can throw that in your composter along with the soil when you're all done with the whole shoot and match. But the other nice thing is it does keep those seeds from sitting in water, because that's the thing about microgreens is you don't want them to sit in water. Like any live plant, if it sits in water, that's not good for the roots, they'll rot. So you want to keep it nice and moist, but you don't want to have it sitting in water. So if you would happen to get some, you could, if you happen to overwater, you could take that out and just dump out the water. The reason I like this dome is if you're going to grow in an open tray, you're going to have to mist your seeds to keep them wet. You don't want to put them, you don't want to water them with a watering can. If you do that, their seeds are going to go everywhere. Trust me, been there, done that. You want to water it very gently. But if you close this dome, once you get it watered, you can actually, with the dome, you can actually water kind of down the side. So if you would put your water like in beside your tray, it'll soak up from the bottom. And if you close that lid, it's going to condensate in there, and it works the same way you would with mist. And honestly, I just am going to lay my seeds in by hand. So I've done this 2 ways. One way is to, gosh, that lid wants to be a pain in the neck. Hold on. Okay. I've done it 2 ways. One way is to just lay the seeds on the ground and kind of push them in. The other way is to put them in here and space them out a little bit, and then just to gently sprinkle a little bit more soil over the top. And I actually think that's a little more effective. So I didn't want to fill my egg carton right up to the top when I got started. I want to leave a little bit of room. And like I said, I put about 4 seeds per little eggy hole. Eggy hole? Is that the right way to put that? Per compartment. How about that? Per compartment. Talk like a human. Okay, hold on. And then I just sprinkle some soil over top. Works really well. If you have any questions, stick them on the comments. I can see you guys live. I've got my screen right here, my little computer. Technology is pretty awesome. And I can see your comments, and I can answer them in real time if you've got any. And if not, I'd love it if you give me a wave or a thumbs up so I know that you're there. Okay, so like I said, I'm just going to give me 1 more minute here. Now, we have these. I'm doing peas. So if you're new to microgreens and you want to try it, I would recommend that you try, first off, a fairly large seed. So these are pea seeds. I would say they're probably one of the largest ones. Let me switch my angle here. I'll show you real quick. So these are my pea seeds. They're going to roll out of my hand. But like they're big. You can hold them quite easily in your fingers. And especially if you've got, like I said, little people helping you, these are great because the dexterity of this is awesome. Really easy to use, not hard at all. So I would definitely recommend you try a bigger seed. When you're here and you pick up the packages, I'm just going to grab a couple. Hold on 1 second. Put my seeds down here. A couple more there. We have, I think, about 8 or 10 different kinds of microgreen seeds, so that's fun. When you pick up the package, you can feel. Sunflower is another good one. These are big seeds. You can hear them rattling around in there. If you touch the package, you can feel that. So that would be another good one to start with if you've never done it before. Now this is one I want to try. This is arugula, and I think arugula microgreens will be really, really good. But the seeds are super tiny, so I would definitely, you gotta be careful with that one. Probably not the best one for little fingers. Maybe depends how patient your kids are. Mine would have headed everywhere, but yeah, I think it'll taste really good. It's just maybe a little trickier to seed. Do we have basil microgreens? Kathleen was wondering. So we don't, but because they're back ordered from the company. So hopefully I'm gonna put them on the next order because I definitely want them. I know they're available from West Coast Seeds. They just weren't available when I placed my last order. So we'll be getting some. Just looking at my rack here, I've got arugula, sunflowers, peas, chard, pak choi, mustard, kale, broccoli, and amaranth. Amaranth. I think that's how you say that. Help me out. I want to give that one a try because I think that one also sounds really good. And there was one other thing, but holy cow, beets. We have beets. Those would be another good one for little fingers or people who are just trying it for the first time because it's a nice big seed, easy to see how densely you've sown it. And again, you're just eating the tops. So the whole point of this is that you eat these plants when they're baby plants, not when they're full-grown plants. So I'm just going to cover this with a little bit of soil and honestly just a little dusting. If you would have seen my my first batch here, okay, this pot was almost full and it's still over half full. So that gives you an idea of how much soil. Very little soil. Okay. Now I didn't bring any water with me, but I'm literally going to water that, shut the lid, and leave it sit. Once they get up big enough that they're touching the plastic's done its job, and I'm just going to leave the lid open and not worry about it. Now with this container, which has been a pain, I'm probably going to have to cut it apart, but you get the idea. I'm just going to leave that off. This one has just been sitting open like this on the counter. I'm going to reuse that plastic container, toss the egg carton in the soil when this is done. Just compost it. It's cardboard, so it's easy. It'll break down, no problem. So that's my little microgreen thing. These are great. I just cut them off, stick them on a salad. You could put it on top of the pasta as a garnish. You could do whatever, but they're great. They were so good in my salad yesterday. Tasted just like fresh peas from the garden because that's essentially what they are. Just eating the plant instead of the shell and the peas. So that's my little spiel about microgreens. Any other questions? Beets would be delicious. I definitely agree with you, Kathleen. I'm going to get me some beets and try that out. The other nice thing about this little container is the width of it probably can sit on my windowsill. Except I have a lot of plants on my windowsill, so I'd have to displace something, and I'm not really sure I'm willing to do that. Microgreens do like a nice bright place to grow, lots of sunshine. Like any vegetable plant, they're going to like lots of sun. I don't worry about fertilizing this because quite honestly, it's not growing long enough to take the nutrients, like to need fertilizer. It's kind of like a quick turnaround thing. The other thing I do want to mention is you need to grow in good soil. So I would just use any sort of potting mixture you have. Don't go outside to your flower bed and grab soil out and try to grow it. It's not going to work. So just buy a bagged soil, any kind of potting soil. We have lots of different kinds here. Pro Mix is what this is growing in. It's nice and light, easy to sprout. And actually I don't know if I can show you or not. I'm going to try it on my other camera. Hold on a second. Okay, so you can see here, yeah, if I show it up real close, the seeds actually popped through the soil. I'm getting hit by the lid. I'm not going to eat the seed. I know it says you can, but quite honestly, I don't think I can get all that dirt off of there. And that's okay with me. The point is to really have the greens. And yes, it would be excellent on pizza. I 100% agree with you. So that's microgreens. Now on to sprouts, because sprouts are a whole different thing. They're just kind of different. But they're also fun and actually probably a little quicker. So the sprouting jars, we've got two different ways we have two different sprouters. One is this jar system, really simple. All you do is you pour water in the top of there 2 or 3 times a day at least, swish it around, pour the water out, and then set it on your side. And you can see mine is still kind of dripping a little bit. So I just set it in a bowl like that. It sits on my counter. It doesn't like direct sunlight, so you don't want to put it near your window. I just have it on the counter next to my sink because then I remember to rinse it because otherwise I forget. Rinsing is important because you don't want there to be an opportunity for mold or bacteria to grow in there. So rinsing is important, giving it a good swish around, pouring out extra water. If you are super keen on sprouting, if you've already sprouted, we got in these really cool, they're a sprouting kit. They are a little more pricey. They're $37.99, but what it does do is it gives you the opportunity to grow 3 layers of sprouts at one time. So this is actually, it's a draining system. So you put these little red domes on, You put your seeds on each level, and the water drains through. You pour the water on the top, it drains all the way through to the bottom and stays in this little water chamber. So I'm just going to show you a picture here. Leanne took one home on her kitchen counter, and that's what it looks like in use. So she's got the different kinds in there. I think she put a tablespoon of each seed in the sprouter, and she's got the water flowing through like that. With all of the seeds, West Coast seeds in particular, I should say, with all the West Coast seeds, whether they're garden vegetable seeds, whether they are sprouting seeds, whether they are microgreen seeds, they vary in price depending on what they are. So yeah, that may also gives you some selection. So if you want to just try something, you might want to pick one of the ones that's maybe a little less costly. All in all, they're pretty reasonable. So this is my sprouter. This one, like I said, is $37.99. If you want to just buy this mesh screen, that's a stainless steel screen that we got in from them, you can do that. The screen is $6.99. You can make your own if you want to out of an old window screen, what have you. These are special screens, stainless steel, that fit on a wide mason jar. If you don't have a wide mason jar, we have those as well, and we're selling them together as a set, so you can get that for $10. So that's not a bad investment for trying something new if you're not 100% sure about it. The sprouting seeds, we have, oh my goodness, so many different kinds. Each one of these bags, I'm not going to bother reading them all to you. I think every little prong here is a different kind, or there might be a couple that are doubled, but for the most part, every single one is different, and it ranges from red clover to different kinds of beans. Like I said, mung beans is one that I'm really familiar with. A lot of people have used those. Chickpeas, like I've got wheatgrass, alfalfa, broccoli. I think broccoli sprouts would be really cool. I want to try those. And I was surprised to see fenugreek. I've never heard of people sprouting fenugreek, but there you have it. You can sprout fenugreek. There are instructions on the bag, really easy to read instructions, and these vary in price as well. So this bag of wheatgrass was $3.99. I used a tablespoon of it. I'm trying to think of how much is in here. Is there a measurement? Let me see. It says 125 grams. So I'm not sure how that translates, but there's a fair bit in here. I'm going to get quite a few batches of sprouts out of this bag, no question. I have also, like I said, sprouted chickpeas. They take a little longer. So the bigger the seed is, the longer it takes to sprout. Yeah, sprouts have a lot of positive benefits as far as vitamins and nutrients, that sort of thing, especially if you're sprouting a bean, because then it also has protein in it, which is a nice addition to salads and that sort of thing if you're trying to get a little bit more protein into your diet. So that's something to consider. And I also want to take a minute. Can you use the starting seeds and plant the microgreens? I don't know, Shannon. I would imagine you probably could plant the sprouting seeds like a microgreen seed. In fact, actually, we looked at it this morning, and these are microgreen peas, but we also have sprouting peas. The seeds look almost identical. The difference, I would say, is I wonder if the sprouting seeds have maybe been a little bit more cleaned, because when I compared them, they're the same size, they're the same color, but they are, these ones are like a lighter, I'm going to show you on the other screen, hold on. So if you see these are more like a brownie kind of color, and these are a little bit more of a true green color, which I would expect them to be. I'm sure you can probably sprout these. Yeah, I would say they're probably interchangeable, but they are different. So I would say, here's the other thing I was going to tell you about. Hold on one second. So West Coast Seeds, like I said, is a family-owned company. I think they were started in 1983 in Vancouver, BC. Family-owned business, which we love. Family-owned small businesses. And I'm going to show you their website real quick because it's phenomenal. They have put so much work into it, and the resources are absolutely incredible. So take some time, if you're interested at all, go to West Coast Seeds and check out. They have got a whole blog full of amazing resources. So I'm just going to try to go down here. I'll just pick like how to protect seedlings. They've got container soil versus garden soil. The poop on manure. I thought that was a funny one. Seeds for really early starting. What about kale? And they've got information on how to sprout. They've got so much stuff. And of course, you can do shopping from them. I know things, they're like crazy busy, like every other seed company right now. So you may be able to get what you want online. We may have it here. If you can't get it online, it's maybe quicker to come on over here and see me and get some stuff. But yeah, they have amazing variety on their website. And incredible, incredible articles. So if you are interested in growing, I would definitely recommend you check out their website. They've also got some recipes, which I thought was kind of cool, and lots of different things for you to read. So take your time. If you have an interest in gardening, check out West Coast Seeds. Hold on a second. I got to get back over. There, check out the West Coast Seeds website. I've been referring to it quite a bit when I'm even just asking my own questions about their products. Lots of great information there. So that's my spiel about microgreens and sprouting seeds. Any other questions? By all means, put them in the comments. I will take the time to read through those throughout the day, answer anything, get back to you. Like I said, we've got all this great stuff for you, and of course, vegetable seeds. And I don't know if you can see behind me. You can a little bit. We've got our new plant and go station right there, that big brown potting bench, and we've got our desks here for working on that you're welcome to use when you're here. So our plant and go station is kind of one of our best kept secrets. You're welcome to come on in and replant your house plants, upsize things, anything like that. All we do is charge you for the soil. So we have a calculation we figure out based on your pot size, how much soil you've used, and you pay for your soil, and away you go. Other than that, I hope you have a great day. If you have any questions or any suggestions for future videos, by all means, lay them on me. I'd love to hear it. And other than that, I hope you have a great weekend. Thanks, folks.